Hello and welcome. Silrace here with Mechwarrior Online, and this is a generalistic guide to the Adder chassis. 35-ton light mech for the clans. Keep a note, an eye on the background footage. You get to see some of the builds I was doing with this particular mech, as in the weapon wise. And also another note is that while I brought Adder to Community Warfare once so far and played it around there, I completely and utterly forgot to record the damn thing. So my mistake there, so there is no Community Warfare background for this, but I have played it there as well.
New target acquired.
Anyway, let us talk about some strengths and weaknesses for this particular chassis. So firstly, weaknesses. It is a 35-ton light mech, which would be awesome aside of the fact that it is really slow light. Even with a speed tweak, it is 106 kph maximum speed. Essentially, there are medium mechs which still spot a respectable amount of weapons and still go faster than this thing. So it is slow, and on top of that it lacks jump jets, so it doesn't even do what other lights do, is like jump over hills and get on top of hills and poke over the said hills, or even the whole Pop-Tart thing of jumping over cover to shoot PPCs or whatnot over the cover. So it cannot do any of those things. So yeah. And it also doesn't sport a whole lot of hard points for weapons. That being that it does have hard points for weapons, obviously all mechs do, but it cannot mount like 12 small lasers to try and do, you know, humongous alpha strikes, and then try to run away to, you know, cool down before being able to fire again. And it also cannot mount ECM, which is a little painful. All those things said, as this is not a comp mech, you do not want to bring this into a competition and expect to win. You want to play Adder for the funsies of it, like I do, maybe. But at least I did have fun with the mechs. Some strengths, though, for the chassis. It has 16 tons of pod space to play around with maxed armor. Okay, you have to drop armor a couple points to get exactly 16 tons, but that shouldn't be too much of an issue. And because you don't have a whole lot of hard points, you cannot mount 12 small lasers or something, you are bringing bigger guns to fill up the tonnage, right? That means that you are bringing things like PPCs, large lasers, large pulse lasers, lots of short-range missiles and whatnot. Actually gives you a nasty punch for being a 35-ton light mech. And also it makes this a very good fire support mech. Unfortunately it cannot bring ECM to help with the fire support thing even more, but if you hang around with a bigger body, especially one which does not have jump jets, because you cannot keep up with things with jump jets as they go over hills and whatnot, but if you find a friendly Atlas, a Direwolf, even a Timberwolf, which is not using its, you know, jump jets all that much. If you find one of those and hang around with it and shoot whatever it is shooting, you can probably do really well with this mech. And it shines in that category. It cannot win 1 versus 1 situations against other light mechs. It simply does not have the weaponry or the speed to do that. And even against many of the medium mechs, it just can't do that. However, it can extremely well help kill targets. And because of its smaller stature, granted it's a clan mech and everyone is still shooting at the clan mech simply because it is a clan mech. But it is smaller mech, and when there is a big target, big threat already next to it, and they are seeing you and the bigger threat, it's more likely that they are actually trying to get rid of the thing which is definitely killing them, such as a Direwolf or an Atlas or a Banshee. And you might get completely ignored, especially if you hang back a little, so you are not the first target to poke out. However, don't be afraid of taking a hit or two, because as long as you don't die and you don't lose weapons, those hits which happen to hit you instead of the big things which are helping you kill all the things, all the hostiles, Well, it is a couple extra shells or laser beams which don't hit and kill them off. Because, frankly, because of the lack of speed and lack of utterly, you know, massive alpha strikes on the adder, because it doesn't have the hard points to do them, you just cannot carry games really hard. It is, you can do massive amounts of damage if you are doing your fire support very well, but it's unlikely you will be racking up the kills and killing the whole enemy team by yourself. Because most things either have armor to, you know, duel with you, trade fire with you, and you will be coming on the losing end, or they have speed to get away from you. So let's briefly talk builds then at the end here, while, well, you get to see some more footage and you have seen some things I have used as well. But what should you build this for? Since you are probably doing direct fire support. This is how I feel Adder has to be played. It has to be played as a group support, and you have to forget, you know, being able to run and do your own thing if you are used to inner sphere lights. So, large lasers, large pulse lasers or PPCs. Personally, I didn't like PPCs because they run way too hot. You have to be very good shot with them, and you have to be very careful when you take your shots so you don't accidentally overheat in such a place that then a hostile might be killing you. So I'm mostly using large lasers these days, now playing it. Of course, I have one brawling build with 3 SRM4s with Artemis and a medium pulse laser. And that thing, when you are running around with a brawling, you know, heavy or assault mech, you can absolutely rack up kills while they are like stripping most of the armor. Then you show up with 3 SRM4s and shoot them in the torso, which is now stripped of armor, and you're suddenly stealing the kill and actually being able to do other things. Also, that build is very good at deterring big things from, you know, approaching. Because, well, you can strip the armor away very well from big things, and then they are very hesitant of suddenly moving onwards even though they killed you. It is not a good way to play, granted, to trade yourself for some armor, but occasionally that kind of things might have to happen. You could make this into an LRM boat as well, just load it up with 4 of the, you know, missile hardpoints and load up nothing but long-range missile launchers and a whole lot of missiles. I tried it out a couple times. I don't personally like playing long-range missile boats, so I didn't play with it too much, but it is capable of doing that, just for the funsies of it. And if you want, just bring one laser with it and go with 3 LRM tubes, and you can always do something, especially for community warfare, where you might run out of missiles at some point or another. So Adder, really fun mech, once you get used to the fact that you simply have to run with the pack. And when you do your support fire very well, you are absolutely racking up this score and doing extremely well with this particular mech. You can even top the damn scoreboard without too big of an issue if you do your things right. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this incentivized some people. Intensivized, whatever, you know, it's weekend. Anyway, incentivized some people to try out Adder because it is really fun mech. Just don't try to do all other lights, because that usually ends really badly for you. As said, thank you very much for watching.